Well, hello, and thank you for joining us back at the Sanders Kitchen. My name is Mike, and I'm glad to have you in my kitchen today. I want to apologize for not having kept up with the channel for the last few days. My dad passed away, and I know it's usually a very traumatic experience, and it really was. But I'm happy to tell you that we're back in the kitchen, we're cooking again, and I'm glad you're with me. Now, today's recipe is going to be a really good one, a good old-fashioned New Orleans recipe that you would see at a wedding reception, or, hey, any special event, or even in your backyard, family events. So let me introduce you to Grits and Grillades. It's a really great recipe, and it's simple. Let me tell you what's in it. We have onions, bell pepper, celery, parsley, garlic. We have green onion, some mushrooms. We're going to put in a little tomato, and the star of the show is a sirloin tip steak that's been cut thin to maybe 1/4 inch. That's how they had it in the grocery, but we're going to make it a little bit thinner and trim it up. So come on in the kitchen and let me show you how this looks. Okay, so what we have here is some sirloin tip steaks. And like I said before, they were cut rather thin at the grocery. So what we're going to do, the first step, is to pound them out. And I'm using the meat tenderizer with the little prongs on it. Okay, we're going to flip it over. Don't hit your finger with the hammer. Now you can see how much larger they got since we pounded them out. But what we're really looking for are some little pieces like this. That's what we're looking for. And so how do you get that? Well, you see how you can tell where the meat comes together with the little fat membranes. So what I'm going to do is cut that. I'm not going to pull it apart, but I'm just going to cut it. And any place where there's that line of, I call it sinew, I don't really know what it is, but it's that little stuff right there, and we're going to cut that out. So I'm going to cut all of these steaks into pieces like about this size, and we'll put them on the side, and then before we season and flour them and start browning them, we're going to have all of our veggies cut up, because you've got to do mise en place. Got to have everything in its place before we start cooking. So I'll go ahead and finish this up, and we'll go to the next step. And we're ready to continue on. So the next step is to just season our pieces of meat. We'll just do one at a time here, and then we take the flour, sprinkle that on. We can even do that right here. You know, we'll get a few pieces done. You season a few pieces real quick, like, and flour them up like this. We'll get a little oil in here. You want to coat the bottom well. And then we'll just put the meat in and start browning them up. So that's the next step, and we'll just continue doing that till we have all of this done. All right, and then we'll flour these up a little bit. And we'll go ahead and season up the rest of the meat, put the flour on, and we'll be ready to finish this up. It doesn't take long. We're going to put this meat back in once we have our sauce made. Just come on back and we'll have all this ready to go to our next step. It's going to take 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to get all this done. So see you in a few. All right, all these beautiful little morsels of meat are finished. And we have a nice glaze going on here. So what we're going to do is drop in about 1.5 tablespoons, maybe 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to mix that around a little bit. That'll actually deglaze the skillet for me. Not all the way, but a little bit. And the next thing is we'll go in with our onions. All right.
Hi, everybody.
You know I gotta have help in the kitchen, huh? All right. But no, she didn't want to put a microphone on. We're in with the onions, and we're going to let these onions cook a little bit until they brown up. That's the first thing I want to do, because you know, onions have to get sweet. And to help this deglaze a little bit more, I'm going to add in a little red wine. Okay. Oh, does that smell good? That smells some good. All right. Now that red wine's going to cook down. Going to cook out. It's going to get thicker. The onions are going to turn brown. And at that point, we'll go in with the rest of the mirepoix, is what we call it. We're going to put some mushrooms in too. So hang with us, because this is a great recipe. It's easy to do. You just have to give it a little cooking time. Look how beautiful those onions are. Oh, they browned up so nice. Let me go ahead and throw in the celery, some bell pepper. Put all that bell pepper in there. We're going to saute all of these veggies a little bit, and I'm throwing in the onions. I'm sorry. Those are mushrooms and the garlic. I'll have all of the ingredients listed in the description. I'm going to add in just a little tomato. Now, these are plum tomatoes. And then I have a special tool for chopping these up. And we're going to saute these for several minutes. I'll let you know how long it takes. A couple of level tablespoons of EMERIL'S essence. About a tablespoon of caliente. Hey, look, we're Cajuns, right? You got to have a little hot sauce in there. We're going to come in with beef stock. Now, there was a lot of flour on the meat and flour in the bottom of the skillet. I didn't add any extra flour. And we can do a little cornstarch later if we want to thicken it. But right now, this has to simmer for quite a while, because we want all these veggies to cook down really good. But while they're cooking, we want to add back the meat. And the meat will continue to cook. The flour is going to come off of the meat and continue to thicken the gravy. When the meat is really, really tender, then the grillades will be done. And the only thing left to do at that point will be to make some grits and serve it up. So for right now, I'm just going to taste it. Okay, it tastes great. We don't need any pepper, but we do need some salt. Okay. When we come back, it'll be ready to judge whether or not we'll thicken it more. And then at that point, we'll make the grits and we'll serve it up. Well, guess what? It's finished. The grits and grillades smell wonderful. Let me tell you what we did real fast. We took it off of this burner that was over here and put it on the stove so we could just keep it simmering. It took about 90 minutes, am I right? Yep. Okay. We simmered this for 90 minutes, but I got to tell you, that meat is so tender, it's just amazing. Yep. Okay, so as you can see, it reduced down. I did throw some green onion tops on it. It looks pretty. And I did put some parsley in. But while it was in its finishing stages, I took about a cup of the liquid out, mixed in about a tablespoon and a half of cornstarch, whisked it in, poured that back in, and stirred it in, and just let it simmer for about another half hour. And that's why it's perfect right now. I tasted it for salt and pepper, and honestly, we put enough caliente hot sauce. Doesn't need any more pepper. It didn't actually need any more salt, because you saw me put salt in. So you know what? It was perfect. And that's what it's called, seasoned salt and pepper to taste. You don't just throw salt and pepper in and say to taste. You put it in and taste it. So anyway, it's time to plate this baby up. So Pam was gracious enough to make me some cheesy grits. And who doesn't know how to make cheesy grits, right? Well, let me tell you, this is some good stuff right here. I'm going to make it look pretty. I doubt seriously I'm going to eat all of this, but this is going to be a pretty presentation. And we have the grillades. So now you'll see that that is one little bitty slice of meat. And there's another piece, and another piece, and another little piece. And we have some gravy to go with it. Look at that, how beautiful. And a few green onion tops. Bam, boom. And look how pretty that is. That is one beautiful dish. Man, let's go ahead and taste this, because I can't wait. It is smelling so good. And you know, you don't really need the knife. I mean, this stuff is so tender, it just falls apart. That's really why you need to cook it for about 90 minutes. Well, we have enough grillades here to feed about 15 people. So if you're not busy, come on over. I know you know I'm kidding. Just give it a try. Do like I said, pound the meat, make it thin, season it, brown it off, make that wonderful gravy, put some mushrooms in there. You can't go wrong. If you loved our video today, we appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, please, and share it. Share our channels with your friends and your family. We really appreciate that. We're trying to get those numbers up. And hit that notification bell so that way you'll know when all of the videos come out right away. So thank you again for watching the Sanders Kitchen. We hope you enjoyed our video. Have a great weekend. Come back and see us again, and God bless you.